security and safety for anybody in the world, right?
Macklemore has certainly come a long way since celebrating bargains at his
And
local
that would mean
visits.
also
His
seeing
latest track,
Palestine
Fighting
free from
Protest,
occupation.
I think the world bus score.
Yeah, the people they won't leave, but it's threatening about divesting.
Free to pursue meaningful statehood, self-determination and statehood in a meaningful, sincere way.
Music is more than just sound waves and lyrics. It is a powerful form of expression, used as a tool for resistance, protest, and as a voice for the marginalized. Today we're gonna explore how music has been used to challenge power, rally people, and amplify voices that otherwise might have been silenced. From the soulful rhythms of the civil rights movement to modern-day rap addressing war and identity, music has consistently pushed boundaries and defied expectations. It's been a weapon wielded by the oppressed to assert their humanity, a canvas for artists to paint the realities of injustice, and a unifying force for communities facing adversity. In this video, we'll look at music's historical role in resistance, discuss its effectiveness, and examine some contemporary artists like Macklemore, Saint Levant, MC Abdul, and Hozier, who are using their voices to speak out against the injustices of our time.
Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves.
Music has always been a way to express dissent and challenge the status quo. Let's take a deeper look at the history of music as resistance. During the era of slavery in the United States, African American spirituals served as coded messages for escape and resistance. Songs like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot held dual meanings. On the surface, they were about biblical stories, but underneath, they were used to communicate secret messages to fellow slaves, providing instructions for escape routes along the Underground Railroad.
But the rustlers broke on us in the dead eye.
Fast forward to the 20th century, and you'll find artists like Woody Guthrie in the United States, whose song, This Land Is Your Land, became an anthem for the labor movement. Written as a critique of America's wealth inequality and exclusion, the song's simple melody and lyrics made it accessible to workers and activists across the country. Guthrie's guitar even bore the words, "This machine kills fascists," a clear statement of his belief in music's power to fight against oppression.
Don't explain. You know that I love you. And what love endures.
And then there's Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit. Released in 1939, this haunting song condemned the lynching of African Americans in the South. Holiday's emotional delivery and the vivid, painful imagery of the lyrics struck a chord with listeners. At a time when open discussion of racial violence was often suppressed, Strange Fruit became a form of protest, pushing listeners to confront the brutal reality of racism. Even though the song was banned from several radio stations, its impact was undeniable. It provoked outrage, inspired sympathy, and planted the seed for future activism.
Sing to complete sentence, that's when the policeman came to the rescue. Children were flying.
Across the Atlantic, music also played a pivotal role in apartheid South Africa. Miriam Makeba, known as Mama Africa, was one of the most prominent voices. Her music, often sung in indigenous languages, served as a cultural rallying cry against the apartheid regime. Songs like Soweto Blues captured the pain and anger of black South Africans, drawing global attention to the injustice. Exiled for decades due to her activism, Makeba used her voice on the world stage, proving that music could transcend borders and bring international awareness to local struggles. From the United States to South Africa and all around the world, these songs were more than just entertainment. They were lifelines, galvanizing communities, building solidarity, and sometimes providing the only safe outlet for people to express their dissent.
Something to fall for anything. I'm sick, but it's game time. Hey.
While the context of activism has changed over time, the power of music remains strong. Today's artists don't only make music that moves people emotionally, they make music that moves people into action. Take Macklemore's Hins Hall.
People they won't leave. What is threatening about divesting and want a piece? The problem isn't the protest, it's what they're protesting. It goes against what our country is funding. Block the barricade until Palestine is free. Block the barricade until...
Released in 2024, this song is a deeply emotional response to the ongoing genocide in Gaza. It tells the story of Hind, a young girl who was killed by the Israeli Defense Forces. Through heartbreaking lyrics, Macklemore captures the human cost of the conflict, reflecting on the innocent lives lost and the suffering endured by those living under occupation. The song's title, Hins Hall, symbolizes not only a place, but a memorial for the children whose lives have been tragically cut short. Macklemore's choice to use his platform to highlight this issue is significant. He uses his privilege as a well-known artist to amplify voices for those who cannot speak for themselves. By shedding light on Hind's story, he challenges listeners to confront the uncomfortable truth of what's happening in Gaza, pushing them to engage with the issues rather than turning away. Similarly, Saint Levant.
To be Palestinian is to always rep where you come from, except when you're online at the customs. Told her she can meet me up in London. She let me cause I came from Gaza with love. But I feel like it's forced to die from Gaza with love.
A Palestinian, French, and Algerian rapper addresses the conflict and other themes like identity, displacement, and resilience in his music. His multilingual lyrics, switching between Arabic, French, and English, connects with the broad audience, resonating with people across the Middle East and its diaspora. Saint Levant's music has become a voice for Middle Eastern youth, using rhythm and verse to articulate complex issues in a way that's both accessible and profound. He doesn't just talk about the conflict, he captures the emotional toll of displacement, the longing for peace, and the strength to continue resisting.
You know what my mission is. It feels like I'm speaking to deaf ears. Are you listening? It feels like I'm out of tears. I run off adrenaline. It's been so many years we had suffered from pillaging.
And then there's MC Abdul, a teenage rapper from Gaza, who uses his music to describe the harsh realities of growing up in a war zone. Abdul's lyrics capture the everyday struggles of life under siege. His songs are filled with vivid imagery and raw emotion, painting a picture of fear, loss, and hope that define his experience. Abdul's viral tracks have garnered millions of views, giving people around the world a glimpse into the lives of those affected by the occupation. His music is not just a form of expression, it's a way to resist erasure, to assert his humanity, and demand a future that goes beyond the violence and blockades.
And I could cry.
Another powerful contemporary example is Hozier's Nina Cried Power. Released as a tribute to protest music legends like Nina Simone, Mavis Staples, and Billie Holiday, the song celebrates the role that artists have played in speaking truth to power. With lines like,
"It's not the song, it is the singing."
Hozier underscores that it's not just the awareness of injustice that's important, but the active resistance against it. The song's powerful refrain, "Power has been cried by those stronger than me, straight into the face that tells you to rattle your chains if you love being free. Pays homage to the countless musicians who have risked everything to use their voices for change. Nina Cried Power is both a tribute and a call to action, reminding listeners that they have a responsibility to continue the work of these musical trailblazers. Whether it's Macklemore highlighting the loss of children in Gaza, Saint Levant addressing displacement and identity, MC Abdul sharing the struggles of living under siege, or Hozier paying tribute to giants of protest music. These artists show that the power of music to heal and resist is timeless.
Leve Palestina och krossa sionismen.
Leve Palestina och krossa sionismen. Leve, leve, leve Palestina. Leve, leve, leve Palestina. Leve Palestina och krossa sionismen.
While music's power to inspire is undeniable, one question remains. How effective is it in creating real change? Activist music's effectiveness isn't always easy to measure. A song might not bring down a regime or directly end an occupation, but it can play a pivotal role in shifting public opinion, challenging narratives, and inspiring people to join movements. When a song resonates with a movement, it becomes part of the movement's identity, cementing its place in history. Beyond shifting public opinion, music builds empathy, and empathy is a catalyst for solidarity. When we listen to a song like Hozier's Nina Cried Power, we're not just hearing a melody. We're stepping into the shoes of the activists who fought tirelessly for freedom. The raw emotion in MC Abdul's verses or Macklemore's lyrics about Hind invites listeners to feel the pain and anger of those living under oppression, even if their own lives are worlds apart. This emotional connection fosters a sense of shared humanity. Protest songs, by their very nature, reach across borders and cultures, reminding us that struggles for justice, whether against racial inequality, colonial violence, or economic oppression, are interconnected. Music becomes a universal language that transcends differences, inspiring collective action. We've seen this solidarity time and time again. In South Africa, anti-apartheid songs sung in Zulu or Xhosa found resonance with international audiences, even if they didn't understand the words. Today, Saint Levant's ability to blend Arabic, French, and English in his music speaks to a similar universality, reminding us that even though the language may vary, the message of resistance is the same.
I stand here today and every day forward for the rest of my life in solidarity with the people of Palestine. With an open heart.
Another major factor amplifying the impact of protest music is technology. Streaming platforms like Spotify and YouTube, combined with social media, have created unprecedented access to global audiences. Artists no longer need traditional gatekeepers like record labels to share their music. Instead, a single track uploaded online can reach millions in the matter of hours. Again, take MC Abdul for example. His music gained global attention when his raps went viral on social media platforms. These platforms allow artists like Abdul to share their stories directly with people worldwide, bypassing traditional media outlets that often downplay or ignore the realities of ongoing conflicts. Digital platforms also make it easier to adopt and share songs as rallying cries. A single TikTok video featuring Saint Levant's music or a tweet linking to Macklemore's Hinds Hall can turn a personal expression into a collective anthem. These songs become part of a movement's digital toolkit, spreading messages faster and further than ever before. But with this accessibility comes responsibility. Artists now have to navigate a world where their words can be misinterpreted, or worse, commodified. And yet, Many choose to walk this tightrope because they know that the potential to inspire change outweighs the risks. Looking back at the history of music as resistance, one thing becomes clear. It's not just a tool for documenting pain, but for imagining possibilities. Nina Simone didn't just sing about oppression, she sang about freedom. Bob Marley didn't just call out injustices, he envisioned a unity. And today, artists like Hozier, Macklemore, Saint Levant, and MC Abdul are continuing that legacy. This legacy reminds us that resistance isn't just about fighting something, it's also about fighting for something. It's about hope, love, and the belief that the world may one day be a better place. So whether it's a 1939 recording of Strange Fruit, a 1970s reggae anthem, or a 2024 track calling for justice in Gaza, these songs don't just exist in their own time, they also echo through generations, inspiring a new wave of activists to pick up the baton and continue the fight forward.
Too many nights, too many days, too many memories that I made away from the place I belong. And if I lied to you, I'm sorry, but your love is all I need. Even though it was all me that made the choice to leave.
Now that we have explored how music has fueled resistance and shaped movements, the question is, what can we do as listeners? First, engage with these songs, not just as music, but as messages. Listen closely, learn the stories behind the lyrics, and share them with others. Second, support artists that are using their platforms for good. Stream their music, buy their albums, and amplify their voices. And finally, let the music inspire action. A song can ignite the fire, but it's up to us to keep that fire burning by showing up, by speaking out, and to stand in solidarity with those who need us. Music may not be able to change the world by its own, but it can change hearts, and changed hearts can change the world.
My connection to Palestine came through Palestinians and hearing their stories and watching, this asymmetrical warfare.
Thank you so much for watching this. This is the most important video I've ever made. This is something that's so important to me. I've been very outspoken against the genocide in Palestine. Not just in Palestine, but the whole world. Right now, of course, Palestine is on the forefront of this because it's a very topical issue, but this is going on everywhere around the world. If this video has resonated with you, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate that. And please, let me know in the comments below, is there a song that you've heard that has inspired you to take action against something? And remember people, free Palestine, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Peace.
We should be putting our energy towards something that actually matters.
What could be more important than that right now?
Yeah, maybe the lives of, Palestinians in Gaza right now. Maybe that's where we put our hearts and our energy.
I come from Ireland, as I said, we have an occupation, a history of occupation that goes back centuries. And that came to an end after, in the 90s, in my lifetime, two communities saying, you know what, peace is better, and coming to a political solution. And a peaceful political solution that the American government was party to brokering as well too. And the American citizenship also was part of reaching out to their representatives. And as a result, I grew up in a peaceful Ireland. And I would just urge you and encourage you, if you feel moved, to reach out to your democratic representation and ask them to represent you on that same basis, in that same compassion, and represent you in that human empathy and in that human witness. Please do. That's just all I'll say. But the ways that people show up for themselves, for each other, these things are powerful. And Mavis Staples has always embodied to me the poetical expression of a revolution of love and kindness. The poetical expression of a revolution of radical inclusion, and Alison Russell, who I've been blessed to tour with, does the very same. I think the way that people show up for themselves, show up for each other, is so powerful. And thank you for letting me witness the kind of love that I've witnessed here tonight, and the kind of community that I'm witnessing in New York City every day. These things are powerful. It's not the waking, it's the rising.